Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. So today we are doing a building that was inspired by a house I found on a little bank holiday trip to Winchester, and this was one of the buildings that's actually up for sale in one of the estate agents windows, and I thought it looked super cute and easy to recreate in The Sims, and a building that I hadn't really done before. So that is what we are doing today. It is kind of a 20s inspired house, so I've kind of tried to furnish it as though it was quite an old period sort of house, and by the end it kind of made me think of some really old houses that they use in things like Agatha Christie on the telly and stuff. So I was just like, so I made a family that was inspired by that as well. So I had some fun in this house, and it had really complicated roofs because all the there's a little balustrade around the front of the house, so I had to the building itself had roofs all over that, so I had to work out that. I did do some of them off camera, especially for the sort of the octagonal, not the hexagonal part of the build, because that was a bit of a nightmare, and it's a very different building. I kind of glad that I put it on this lot, because it kind of turned into a really cool beach house that was sort of a bit older, and obviously I don't know what the back looked like again. So I kind of just put a big conservatory on the back, and we have this house is quite small for what it is. It is 3 stories, which I just look at the picture and realize that, oh, why isn't it not looking right? Because it's 3 stories high, so I had to add in the third level. So we have a kitchen, conservatory, dining room, and a living room study area at the bottom, and then we have a master bedroom with an ensuite and the daughter's bedroom, and then on the top floor we have the son's bedroom and the youngest daughter's bedroom, another bathroom, and a sort of a nondescript room which I did not know what to put in there, and I kind of gone for a off blue color scheme because I couldn't tell what color I was actually using for the fence and the little archway bits that I put in. So I think the windows are either a mix between the blue and the green, because I really can't tell what color is actually on the front because it's in the shade. So I cannot tell, but I kind of managed to match all the windows, and it was a lot easier to match the windows in this build compared to my last build, which was all black and white and very modern, and then we've got the contrast of this one being lots of colours and looking a bit older. So actually putting in the stairs. The footprint of this house isn't very big, and do a bit of landscaping and stuff and some cool stuff out the front. So yesterday I said that I would tell you about my video interview, which went horrendous at the beginning because my laptop decided to crash as soon as the meeting, like I'd got to the point where I was being accepted into the call, and then it just crashed. But thankfully everyone else was having trouble, and they were having trouble with the program that they were using, so that was all good. And then after that it was all fine. I think I did all right. And today I just got an email through saying that I've got a design challenge to do as part of an application to the Greenwich Museum, so that's going to be fun. I have to make it for 11 to 19-year-olds, my mental age range on most days, so it shouldn't be that hard to do. It's just trying to make it as fun and as engaging as possible, I think. So we are on to the kitchen. It's a very old oldie worldy stuff. Not oldie worldy, that's like Middle Ages, but but a bit more older stuff. So we're using the Parenthood counters and the Jungle Adventure cooker and fridge because I thought they would work perfectly with this build. And we just got a little tiles that reflect the colour of the windows as well. And it wasn't actually that big a kitchen. We've got the flagstone on the floor because I thought we'd go proper traditional with this if we're going to make it sort of a period piece. And we've got the candelabra sort of oil lighting things, and I found that the pot and pan, the older looking one, fitted in really well and had a very matching colour, so that was quite nice. And I also gave them a greyhound as well, which you'll probably see in the screenshots, because I thought that was quite a classic dog to sort of give a older styled family. And it's quite a yellow house inside. It's quite nice and sunny and bright. And then in the conservatory area, I kind of wanted to use older but like fancy sort of chairs. So we got the ones with the padding on them from Cats and Dogs, and we're using the laundry day windows to make a little conservatory-esque place, and the little dog basket in there. And then I add in a little built-in seating area, which I did a lot in this house, like combining some big, well, they're all big, but the end tables, combining them into the actual sofa itself to make sort of a unit. I thought it'd be quite nice to sit in the corner there and look out onto the sea, because I put it on the island in Windenburg. And I used a lot of the freestanding lamps as well from Cats and Dogs, because they fitted in quite nicely with this, and then added some plants about, because obviously it's a conservatory, so you can grow some nice things in there. And I wish they'd made the parts of the window into shelves, because that would be quite fun. And the hallway always got the Parenthood thing, so you can keep your kids in check. And I raised up the little shoe rack to make a sort of double layered one, because we didn't have too much space, but I realised that it doesn't really look like it connects, because the shoes on the bottom are a bit taller than the ones on the top, so I probably should have swooped that around. And now we're on to the living room. So we've got a fireplace, because obviously we've got 2 chimneys, so I thought it'd be important to add some actual fireplaces in here. And I probably imagine they wouldn't have central heating, so we've got that. And then we've just got the TV on top, even though it's supposed to be 20's inspired. I was like, we need some mod cons. And we've got some of the older pictures from Get to Work. Not Get to Work, I don't have Get to Work. Get Together, that's what I meant, because they've both got the same title thing. And then in the little hexagonal part, I thought we'd do a little study area, so we've got a desk and a little bookcase and one of the corner seats as well. And I use some of the laundry day stuff rugs as well, sort of suggesting that they had some handmade stuff in their house. And then we just added in a little chest table in the corner there. And then this is the master bedroom. This floor has got a bit more fancy wallpaper. It's kind of showing that they have some money. I imagined that this would have in the end been their summer house instead of their actual main house, because I thought that they would be the sort of Sims that could afford to have a summer house as well as a main one. So they've gone fancy on the second floor with their wallpaper. And I kind of went for a blue, obviously, in this room. It's because it was for 2 Sims, so I wanted to make it a bit more neutral and just bringing in some of the white as well. I kind of might try to match all the woods as the same colour if they had a trim on them, so then it kind of suggested that they always had one on there. But they've obviously put wallpaper on some of them, and we've gone quite fancy with the furnishings, and kind of used the curtains really dramatically in this room to create some scale. And just knocking into things. and just adding in a few of the older paintings and stuff. Like we've got the map and we've got the picture of Italy as well. And then in the bathroom I try to use older fittings as well, so we've got that old bath and we've got the older looking toilet and the sink from Cats and Dogs as well, so then it all looks somewhat older. And then just put the little half windows on the top because obviously we do have the balcony out the front, and I think with just a little seat on the balcony. I didn't realize like halfway through like I'd done the layout, I realized that I hadn't actually put in any bathrooms on for the other Sims in the house, so I had to go and squeeze in some. And then this is the bedroom for the teenage daughter, so I made the family have a teenage the eldest son. I kind of imagined he like already dresses like his father, so he kind of is set to take over the family business once he has finished school. I imagine he was like 18 and like ready to leave and join his father in the workplace and get on. And then this was the teenage daughter's room, who I thought was about 16, and I made her like a massive flirt, and I thought that when they'd have like summer parties and stuff, she'd be flirting with all the boys and trying to get out with them. And then this one is the younger daughter's room, so I imagine she was like 10 or something, and she's secretly the troublemaker. She likes to cause a bit of mayhem because she's the youngest. She thinks she can get away with it, but most of the time she does. And their mother played the mother so strict. I was just like, she only congratulated them when they did their homework and stuff, it was quite fun. I don't normally play that way, and gave them all little characters. So the youngest daughter is up in the loft. You can kind of tell who they favor. They favor the oldest daughter because she is in their eyes the one who's going to bag herself a very rich husband or something like that, who knows. And the son's just going to, well, the son's got quite a big room, and he has a little dog bed for the dog, even though the dog kind of just went off by itself because I put one of the bushes that you can interact with, so he kept going off into there constantly, and it was annoying me a bit. So if you want to take that out, then I would not blame you. So this is the son's bedroom. So again, with a bit darker colour scheme, and we've got the fireplace back up here, and I thought he'd be into music instead of actually wanting to go into business with his dad. So I kind of tried to add in a bit more of his personality, and he's got a little corner seat as well into there, and it's kind of a more grown up bedroom. It's kind of, he's not been allowed to do that much to his room, which is a bit sad, but he's got all his shutters closed as well because he just wants to hide away and do his own thing. And then we've got a little miscellaneous room, which I didn't really know what to do, so I kind of put in some stuff that they might just not have space anywhere else. Kind of they just bring out for parties and stuff, and some few extra chairs. And then we've got another bathroom following on with the theme of what we're going for in this build, and just having a double sink as well in there because there's more of them up here. There aren't any guest bedrooms, so you can't have any Sims to stay. Just added in a few pillars around the front. Landscaping was quite fun. I put a load of plants going up the side, and you can see the location is gorgeous on the tip of the island there. I put a little fence around because the building itself actually did have quite a high fence, like a brick fence, but we don't have a high brick fence, so I'm trying to like scrabble around the catalogue trying to find a fence that kind of suited. In the end I kind of went with the split sort of stone entrance way with the get together sort of one with the little flowers and stuff on it, and then put some really big trees and stuff around because it had loads and loads of trees, the actual one. And then I scaled up the like topiary hedges to make this kind of more secluded and like private, so it made it look really nice. And then I made a little bordered garden just under here. I don't know how well flowers would actually grow under here because I don't imagine they'd get much light, but here we go. there's some nice flowers. And I do make a little art sort of station, well, not station, but someone's kind of pitched up on the sort of part that looks out onto the beach, and they've put up their easel and an umbrella, and they've got their old camera and some paint pots and an old camera as well, and a cushion so they can sit down. So it's kind of how an old like traditional painter would go out and set up their little still life, so you can get some good paint from references there of the yachts and stuff floating around in the bay, which was just we're working on now, which got me really inspired to think of it being more like a murder mystery. I kind of wanted to do a big fun thing like that in this house. It'd be quite funny. And we just added in like a climbing frame and a well and some little flower planters and a few chairs and stuff. We didn't add too much to the outside, but here are the screenshots. So hopefully you enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and if you'd like to see more builds, then feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.